Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I need to put together a sympathy piece. This is actually going to be used for a cremation service. And so this gentleman was a hunter, and they brought in some turkey feathers, which is the tail of the turkey, and they also brought in some deer horns. So we are going to try to attach these into this arrangement. Now this is for a cremation service, and so what that means is there will be an urn that sits right in front of this arrangement. So you always have to be careful as to not make it too low down here with your flowers, because they won't be seen. And so that's the reason we have these two smaller arrangements or smaller containers to add flowers to that'll go on each side of the urn itself. I wanted to show you really quickly how I attached these turkey feathers. So this is a design bowl. It's just a plastic design bowl. This is our long low. It takes a little less than a full block of fresh floral foam. It has been soaked and taped into place. Now I took some plant stakes. These are actually, they call them hyacinth stakes, and I placed them right behind those feathers. So these feathers are all attached. And then I took two more stakes and I broke it in half and I nestled it right down into those feathers. So you can't see it, but it is not going to go anywhere. So that is wonderful. These feathers don't have a whole lot of weight, so that makes it easier because when they are like these deer horns, it's a little harder to get down into the arrangement and to deliver pretty. So we may have to attach the deer horns after we deliver, or when we get to the church. So I'm going to place that there. We're going to start out with this piece first. It's going to be our first piece, and we will make these after we do our original centerpiece. So I'm going to set these over here to the side, and we are going to start on this piece here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a little bit of foliage. So I have some Robellini palm, which is just a type of palm branch. And so I'm going to take, and then I have a mixed bouquet of fall flowers. So I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to take my Robellini and I'm going to snip that rubber band. And then we're going to take our floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and I'm going to come around the back. It's important that I cover up that back also. We want it to look pretty. So I'm just tucking that greenery right around those feathers. Again, the urn is going to sit right here up against this arrangement, so you don't need to poke out too much right here. But you definitely need to cover that floral foam. So that's what I'm doing, is just making sure that my greenery covers that foam. I'm going to turn this arrangement around, and we're going to make sure that the back side is covered. So I'm just going to turn him around, and we're just going to cover this foam here. And I wanted to make it very easy for them to be able to take the feathers out of the arrangement. That was important. So that's the reason I just staked it down in there with hyacinth stakes. Now you could use skewers, like a bamboo skewer would work perfectly. I just happen to have the hyacinth stakes, so that's the reason I chose to use those. But anything that you can just stick it in would be fine. Okay. Honestly, I don't know if that's necessary, but okay. So it's greened out on the back side. We're going to turn it back around. Okay, so there's our greenery. I'm going to bump it up against there. Next, we're going to come in with just a few flowers to just give us a little bit of a very fall look. So here is our mixed bouquet of foliage. So this mixed bouquet, we order these. I don't order them a whole lot, but my rep from Budsy said, Monty, they've got oak leaves, they've got cattails. So I thought, let's get some and see what we think. They're fantastic. So if you ever think that you want to order one of these mixed bouquets, they're fantastic. You're not wasting your money, not even a little bit. So this is called Pittosporum. It's just a variegated foliage. This shrub grows really well here in Mississippi. I should plant some in my yard because it's a wonderful foliage to cut, but it really does look pretty. So there's some pit. This is called sago palm. It's kind of prickly. It kind of bites a little bit, but it's pretty. So I thought I would tuck a few little stems. And maybe not. It's not going to show, so I'm going to set it to the side. No need in wasting it if it's not going to show, right? So this is some oak leaves. So these are preserved oak leaves, and they have been painted this pretty maroon color. I love them. Here in Mississippi, our leaves don't color real well. We just don't get cool enough, and we're so dry that most of the time our leaves just die before they color pretty. And so I always like to have some preserved leaves. So I'm just taking those leaves and cutting them and nestling them right into my foam. All right, so there's our oak leaves. And then let's try some of these bells of Ireland. Now, I'm not exactly sure. A lot of times you have to play with things to see if it's going to work. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to work in this arrangement, but we're going to play with it and see. I'm going to take this bell and I'm going to pinch that tip right out of the top. Strip off any blooms that don't look pretty. Take my floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and I'm just pushing it into that foam right there behind those feathers. Pinch that tip out, strip off any of the blooms that don't look pretty. All right. Okay, so we have some bells over here. I thought we would put some bells just kind of there. I think we need one more stem here. All right, so there's our bells of Ireland coming here. Let's do something over here. Let's do some Safari Sunset. So this is a maroon colored Safari Sunset. Safari is in the Protea family. I love it. It's really kind of a foliage, but it works perfect for fall. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to strip that stem of some of its leaves, cut it at an angle, push it right down into that foam. Oh, I'm so pleased. This is pretty. All right. So there's our Safari Sunset off to one side, our Bells of Ireland off to the other. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our two smaller containers. I'm going to push that back and let's talk about the two smaller containers and the reason I'm going to have these two smaller containers. Now, this is going to be the picture that the family showed us had flowers behind the urn and then on each side. It was almost kind of encompassed by the flowers. And so that's the reason we chose to use the smaller design bowls for the rest of the flowers. Another thing is with the turkey feathers, it's really hard to get enough flowers into that container and not have the urn itself covered up. Using these small design bowls, I'm going to be able to pull some flowers out on each side and it show up. It won't be hidden by the urn. So this is a small round design bowl. They're just green bowls. They're not very expensive at your, we actually, I think, got these from Direct Floral, but they're not very expensive at all. This is about 1/3 of a block of foam. It fits perfectly in the little square bottom that's there. It holds plenty of water in its reservoir. I just took some floral tape and taped it really good so it won't fall out. So there's our 2 pieces. We're gonna start out by adding a little bit of foliage to both of these containers. I'm gonna use some of our palm. So I'm gonna take my floral knife, cut that rubber band, and we are going to add a little palm to this. And I'm going to leave it kind of, I want it to kind of be very whimsical and pretty. So I'm gonna give us a little bit of height over here with this palm. I don't want it to be too much, but I do want just enough, right? And so, oh, I'm very pleased. I don't know if I think I have worked with turkey feathers one time before, but I've never done like a memorial service like this. So wow, 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 it's so pretty. I think those feathers really make a statement. They're lovely. It's really nice though to be able to use things that would have been very much the person. Like, I love the fact that this is so personal. This is so this gentleman, and I love that. I love the idea that when someone walks in, they say, "Oh yes, that's definitely him." I just think that means so much. Okay, so there is our palm. Next we're going to come in with some of our pretty fall flowers. I'm going to move these things. Okay, I'm going to set these. We need to figure out how they're going to go into this arrangement so that they're seen. Because it's important that they're seen. So I think that's going to work. Now the only thing we have to make sure of is that the same as we did those turkey feathers, we need to make sure that they are going to, it will stay in place. So I took 2 wood picks and I put them right around that horn so that it's not going to come out. It's not going to easily come out anyway. I'm going to do the same over here. Take 2 wooden 6-inch wood picks and then just tie those wires together so that this doesn't fall out easily. Now it's not going to show because I am going to add some flowers, so it won't be a big deal at all. Okay, so there's the horns tucked in. Next we're going to come in with some, let's come in with some fall leaves. So this is another one of those fall bouquets, like with the oak leaves that we use there. It does have some Kunti palm And I think this will be pretty, just kind of sticking up here. And it has 2 stems, so we're going to do one over there and one over here. Okay, and then we're going to add some of this pittosporum. And look, the wonderful part about pit, y'all, is it has these little florets. So it pops and it still looks pretty to add in 2 separate places. And I am not trying to make these identical. I want them different. It's so much easier as a designer to not mirror things. It's better to make them different. I'm going to take a little bit of this oak. I have to use snips because it doesn't break so easy. Take a few of these fall leaves. But I don't know about you guys, but I hate to mirror. It's no fun. And I'm just terrible at it, just to be honest. I've had some of my followers say, that doesn't look just like the other one. I know. I know it's hard to do a mirror. All right, so there's our fall leaves and our pittosporum is pretty. I'm going to set this foliage to the side. We'll use it in something else, but then we've got these fun cattails, so we will use those in here. We have cattails that were in the other bouquet also. Okay, next we're going to come in, I think, with a few bells of Ireland. So I'm going to take those bells, I'm going to set these snips down, and I'm going to pick up my floral knife. And I'm just tucking them into this arrangement here. Just to give us a little bit of height on the opposite side. All right, so there's our bells on that side. We have bells over here, so it just kind of flows through where we're kind of matching. Next, we're going to come in with some sunflowers. These sunflowers are called Starfighter. Nope. Yeah. Are they Starfighter sunflowers?
I believe so.
Starfighter. Why my mind goes blank. But these are kind of an ornamental sunflower where it has kind of a creamy yellow instead of that real bold yellow. And then it has a little bit of a kissed burgundy on the lower petals. So pretty. But look how pretty those are. So I've got one there, and then I think I'm going to put 2 over here. So you're going to see that it is 3 total suns. Be sure that when you go to insert these flowers, make sure it's deep so that they don't come out during delivery. Okay, so 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Next, we're going to come in with a little bit of thistle. So we have a maroon painted thistle that is so fun and so pretty. Now, thistle traditionally comes in a blue, kind of a blue green, really pretty. So I'm going to tuck some of this. This is a painted material. So they have taken it and painted it. It comes in other colors besides the maroon. Me personally, I think the maroon is fantastic. We did not order any of the other colors. We just ordered the maroon. But we've been very, very pleased. Another thing with it painted like this, it lasts for a really long time. It's a very long lasting material, which is fantastic. Tucked a little bit in that back arrangement there. And we'll tuck a little bit in this one over here. To kind of pull everything all the way through. Okay, so there is our thistle. Okay, these are called Hypericum berries or coffee berries. It's kind of a peachy colored berry. They come in lots of colors. I thought this peach really pulled a fall tone to this arrangement. So I'm going to take these berries and we're going to nestle a few right in. Again, I'm going to nestle a few in the back arrangement too, so that everything kind of pulls through. Next, we're going to come in with some pretty red roses. I am not going to worry about wiring these roses because I'm cutting them real short, and I am just going to nestle some of these pretty, beautiful, bright red roses right into these arrangements. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And again, I'm putting the majority of the flowers in the two side pieces because really that's what's gonna show. All right, so there's our red roses nestled in. Okay, then to finish it, we've got a few fall mums. So these are called cushion mums. Look at that orange color. Such a pretty burnt orange, but look at the center. It pulls that maroon and the red of those roses. And so I thought this would be the perfect just added little pop of fall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take them and remove them one stem at a time, just like that. And just nestle those right down into these arrangements. And it's not really going to take very much. It's just that little added pop of that orange color. Which to me, honestly, might just be the icing on the cake. It's just the perfect little added fall. Now the wonderful part about a mum or a daisy mum is they have lots of blooms, lots of small blooms on one stem. And so if their stems are long enough, go ahead and pop them off individually and use them individually in an arrangement. It is going to fill up your arrangement and make the flowers go further, which I just think is a really nice added bonus to a mom. And I'm just going to add this little pop right back here. And it might not be seen, but that's okay. Okay, and then our very last little finishing touch, I'm going to add a little bit of eucalyptus. Now, this is a gun-eye euc. You can see you get a lot. This is 2 stems. Look at how much eucalyptus you get for that. So pretty. And so I'm going to take it just like my mom's, and I'm going to cut it in small pieces and just scatter it throughout these little arrangements. And you can just take it, look, just use your floral knife or some snips and just cut it into smaller pieces. And it just gives you just a different texture and just a different color added into that arrangement, which I love. I love that about eucalyptus. Now be sure anytime you use floral foam though that you're very careful to cover up that foam. Make sure that you get that good and covered so that you don't see those mechanics. All right, and there is our finished, whoop, 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 one more thing. They asked for these little cattails. So I'm gonna tuck the little cattails in. I have 6 little cattails. Now this is called a pencil cattail, and you can see why. They look like little pencils. We're gonna just tuck a few of those right in. The nice part about these little cattails is they came in the little bouquets with our foliage. So that was kind of fun, just a fun little added something, right? And these add just that little hint of fall, which is wonderful. Okay, so the flowers that we used in these arrangements include these beautiful Starfighter sunflowers, which I love. We used red roses. We used those orange colored mums, bells of Ireland, peachy colored hypericum berries, a painted thistle, that maroon painted thistle. We used mixed foliage that included a palm. It included the variegated pittosporum, some eucalyptus, some kunti fern, and then our preserved oak leaves, and then safari sunset. But we just have a beautiful array of such pretty fall tones, which I think will make them so happy, and I think it's a wonderful piece to place in memory of a sweet man. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about how we put this together, don't hesitate to ask. I am so happy to answer your questions, or any questions about the flower shop. You know, I'm happy to answer. You can put a note down here at the bottom of this message, or you can email me or message us over on Facebook. We're happy to answer. Guys, thank you for being here. Do me a great big favor. Hit that like button for me, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button, and that little bell will give you notifications for when we have a new video. Guys, y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see you real soon.